Welcome to the History Lord channel. You join me here in Richmond, very busy road junction, but we're talking about the building behind me, which is the Royal Star Garter Home. Now, this particular building was opened in 1924, but there's been an inn on that site called the Royal Star Garter for centuries before that. This is the story. Welcome to London. The hotel that had been here had a checkered history, and at one time was the place to be seen outside of the West End. The original hotel and inn had been extended in 1864, but a huge fire in 1870 destroyed most of the original buildings. Another fire in 1888 destroyed the remaining parts of the original buildings. The hotel was rebuilt bigger than before and housed a huge banqueting hall and a ballroom. Following the end of the Victorian era and the rise with the number of motor cars and more widespread travel, the hotel went into decline. It was used several times as a venue for the annual Mayor's Ball, but it also continued to host charitable events such as the 1906 annual meeting for the National Society for the Protection of Young Girls, attended by Princess Louise and the Duke of Argyll. However, the decline was irreversible and the hotel was eventually put up for auction, failing twice to be sold in both 1907 and 1909. It was eventually sold in 1909 for £18,000 and then sold again in 1911 and again in 1912. The plans were to refurbish or redevelop the hotel, but they never came to fruition because of the outbreak of World War I in 1914. During the war, the hotel and its land was purchased with funds raised from a public appeal by the Auctioneers and Estate Agents Institute, with the freehold being valued at around £25,000. The site was then donated to Queen Mary in support of her plans to establish a home for permanently disabled soldiers. The hotel banqueting hall and ballroom were temporarily used to house disabled soldiers, but the site was found to be unsuitable for specialist needs, and the hotel buildings were demolished in 1919 and rebuilt as the Star and Garter Home. The new building was dedicated in 1924 as the Women of Empire's Memorial to the Great War and was opened by King George V and Queen Mary in that summer. In the late 1940s, a specialist paraplegic ward was established at the home under the direction of Dr. Ludwig Gutmann, a consultant at Stoke Mandeville Hospital. He used pioneering techniques to promote residents' mobility, recommending sports which could be played from a wheelchair, such as archery. In 1948, Gutmann launched the Stoke Mandeville Games with an archery competition between Stoke Mandeville and the Star and Garter teams. It was the first recorded competition between disabled athletes and was the forerunner to the Paralympic Games. From 1986, the first women were welcomed into the residence in the home. In 1916, the average age of a young ex-serviceman was 22. Just under a century later, the average age was 88 of the residents, and they needed 24-hour nursing. They needed respite, and some needed specialist dementia care. The building was sold in 2014 for a grand total of £50 million, and the care homes moved elsewhere into the country. It's now been renovated as private apartments, but it's still a fantastic building and does command views all over the Thames Valley. Thanks for watching today. If you do enjoy these videos, then please do subscribe. And if you want to know when videos are uploaded, there's a little bell just down below. And if you want to see what we do outside of these videos, when we're not standing in busy road junctions, then please, there's a description below. That tells you about James's Last Line films, or if you go to historylord.co.uk, it tells you about my walking tours of London. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you very soon. And I think, James, that's lunchtime. That way.